Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here we share beginner-friendly coding tutorials on Scratch, Roblox, Minecraft, web programming, and many more. Today, I will be teaching you on how to create an advanced Roblox Obby game. This advanced Roblox Obby game tutorial is divided into 4 parts. In this video, which is the first part of the series, I will be teaching you on how to create simple and common obstacles which you can find in most Obby games, which includes a conveyor belt, explosive lasers, sliding in obstacles, which you can create using Roblox Studio. So let's get started.
Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Roblox Studio and create a new file with the template of a classic faceplate. Alright, now I have loaded my baseplate, so this is where I'm going to create my Roblox Obby game. So first, I'm going to start off at one corner of my baseplate, which gives me the option of using the whole baseplate to make my advanced Obby game. So I'll just move my camera view up. Alright, so I'll be going to this corner of my base plate. So if I can see here, this is my whole base plate. And I'm going to start off with the right bottom corner here. Alright, so I'm going to add a spawn location first so that my player would spawn at the beginning of my obby course. So I'm going to click on toolbox and I'm going to find a spawn location. So you can choose any spawn location that you like. So I'll just add one there. Then I should drag it to the corner here. Yeah, a little bit like that. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is on the first part of my obby course, I'll be just making some simple platforms where the player have to jump around. So to do that, I'll just click on part, use a block, and I'll be choosing the size of the width and the length of the platform is going to be 8 into 8. So under properties, I'm going to change into 8, 1, 8. So it gives me a platform that is big enough for me to jump into. So I'll just drag use scale. So use move, and I'll be dragging this and place it 4 studs away from my spawn location. Like that. So you're feel free to change your color and the material of your obby game. So I'll just click on the material to be plastic, and I'll just change the color to be pink. Alright. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor it so that when at the end of my game, once I design my game, I'll be deleting the base plate. So I need to anchor the platform so that they don't fall off. So I have anchored them. So next I'm going to create or duplicate this platform 3 times so that there will be 3 jumping platforms. Let's just add one more. That is 4 studs away apart from each other. Alright. That should be it. So it looks nice. So I'll be changing the colors. Alright, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some wedge platforms to make it more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'll be adding a wedge platform, and if you can see the wedge, the top part of the wedge is on that is facing towards my platform. So I need to rotate it or flip it horizontally. So I just click on rotate, and you see a green color circle. So I'll be turning my wedge part along that so that the corner of the edge would be facing the other way, like where you can jump onto the other platform. So I'll just make this wedge to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to click on scale, make it the length of the wedge bar to be longer, and also the height. Alright, so next I'm going to add another wedge platform, and it will be 4 wedge platforms that would be floating in the midair. So it's kind of like making a staircase. So I'll be adding a wedge platform like that, and I'll be turning it like that. So I'll just change the color to be brown. So, and then I'll just make it to be a little bit bigger. So click on scale, big and high, like that. And I'll be just moving it up. So I'm going to click on move and click on the green arrow, and I'm going to lift it up like that so that it's floating in the midair. So I'll just bring it a little bit closer so that it's not too far for me to jump into. And then I'm going to anchor this platform so that it doesn't fall down when I try to play my game, because right now it's floating on the midair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 more steps actually that is floating on the midair, and kind of giving like a staircase effect so that the player can jump. So I'll just duplicate it. So you can press on Command C and Command V if you're using a Mac computer, or if you're using a Windows computer or a laptop, you can use Control C and then press on Control V to duplicate. And maybe lift it up a little bit and then anchor it as usual. So I'll just change the color. So again, I'll just duplicate it again. So you can always try this out to see if the spacing is fine for the player to jump around. So after my player passes along this particular section of the course, the player is going to reach the first checkpoint. So whenever the player dies during the course, maybe whether it gets out of the game platform, or maybe it touches a laser or an explosive laser, the player would always spawn to the last updated checkpoint. So I'll be adding another spawn location after this wedge part. Alright, and I'll just make it anchor so that, okay, it's already anchored, so make sure that all the parts are anchored so that we don't have any platforms that are falling down when you play the game. Alright, so next we are going to make the second obstacle, which would be a tunnel of explosive layer. Now in this tunnel you would have a conveyor belt, and then you have to jump along when you see an explosive layer. But if you touch an explosive layer, you'll be dead. So first I'll be creating my tunnel. So I'll be using another part, and I'll just change the color it to be black. Alright, and I'll just make my ground of the base of my tunnel. So I'll just use scale, drag it along, make the length of it to be a little bit wider so that the player can pass along, and then long enough so you can increase the length of it. The width should be just enough for the player to pass along. Okay, so in this tunnel you'll be not only having laser flashing lasers, but there'll be like other obstacles that is popping out, like walls with obstacles that is coming, sliding in and sliding out. So this space is going to be having both of the explosive lasers and the obstacles that are sliding in. So I'll just make it long enough so that it's going to contain both of these obstacles. So it's going to be like this big, this long, yeah. Alright, next I need to bring it up so that it matches to the height of this spawn location, so like it's kind of like leveled up. Okay, so I have a really long base for my tunnel. Okay, next I'm going to add my conveyor pass. So I need another part that is on the ground that is going to be act as my conveyor. So I'll just add another part, but I'll just change the color for now so that it's easy to identify. So I'll just make it to a lighter color like that, and I'm going to rename this part which I just add as conveyor so that it's easy for me to add my code when I do the coding, so I can identify my part easily. Conveyor. Alright, so the conveyor is going to be, the width of the conveyor is going to be the same as this, a little bit smaller because I need some spacing in the two edges so that it's going, so I can build my wall. So I'll just add that and use scale and stretch it in terms of length, and I'm going to stop it here, and then I'll just increase the width like this and width like that, and my conveyor. Alright, so I have my conveyor right now. Alright, now I'm going to create my walls on the sides of my tunnel. So I'll just add another part, and this is going to be the same color as my base of my tunnel. So if you want to change the color, make it a colorful tunnel, you feel free to do so. So I'll just stretch it along. And then I'm going to lift it up so that the height of this part is up. Alright, I have one more right now, then I'll just duplicate it again, and I'll just fix it on the other side of my tunnel. So I have two walls right now. Now you might see there's a spacing of my conveyor. So again, we can fix that. So I'll be clicking on the conveyor part and click on the red knobs and then stretch it out so that there's no spacing of the base plate. Alright, so I'll be adding my cylinders right now, or my laser beams. So I'll just go inside my laser beams like that, inside my tunnel, and I'll be choosing a cylinder this time. That would be acting as my laser beam. So I'll just change the material to be neon, and I'll change the color of my laser beams to be red. Alright, and then I'm going to click on scale and choose the knobs and stretch it along this way, like that. And I'll just lift it a little bit, not so that it's not directly on the conveyor belt, like that. So you can see there's some spacing between the laser beam and the base of the conveyor belt. Okay, so the reason why I didn't place my laser beam in the very beginning of the conveyor belt is that due to the speed of the conveyor belt, like when the player jumps onto the conveyor belt, and if there's a laser beam directly in front of us, the player would instantly get killed. So we are going to give some spacing so that the player can get ready to jump over the laser beams. So I'll just move it a little bit further like that. Alright, so since my conveyor is not too long, I'm not going to add a lot of laser beams, but if you want, you feel free to add more beams. So I'll just add another beam. Okay, so that's the first obstacle inside the tunnel. Next, I'm going to add my platforms that are sliding in and out. Right, so to do that, I'll be adding one block out of the tunnel. So I'll be adding a block here, and then which is going to slide in this way, and another block that is going to slide in this way. Alright, so I'll just change my camera view so that I can see one side of my conveyor belt. So make sure that you know where your conveyor ends, and then it starts to the next obstacle in the tunnel. So I'll just somewhere here would be fine. So I'll just click on Q and go down and then change my camera view. Alright, and then I'm going to click on a block, another block, and I'll just change the material back to plastic. Now this time I'm going to scale it to the size, to a height of the wall. So I'm going to click on the green knob and stretch it along like that, so that it's directly the same size as the height of the wall. So make sure that there's no sticking out. Alright, and yeah, so there should not be any sticking out like that. So you can put it out, that, and then you can stretch it out on the outer side of the wall. That's fine, but there should not be anything that is sticking inside the wall or into the inner part of the tunnel. So I'll just make it a little bit bigger so that it's a very big obstacle that is sliding in and out into the tunnel. So I'll just bring this block in front like that. Alright, now I'll be changing this or renaming this part as moving part, so that I need to code it so that it keeps on going to the left and another part is going to the right. Oh, so I'll just go to View, click on Properties, click on Explorer. So make sure that you have highlighted or clicked on this particular part, and I'm going to rename it as Moving Obstacle. Alright, so I'll just place, copy and duplicate it. Alright, so now I'm going to place one more obstacle that is sliding on from the other side of the tunnel. So I'll just copy again and move it this part so that it's in between these two blocks, and move it down so that it gets attached to the wall. So you move your camera and see if it is getting closer to the wall, and then push it down, zoom in and see if there's anything sticking out. Alright, okay, so I'll just move it a little bit. I'll just move this part a little bit here, and I'll just duplicate this part and go to the corner. So that means I have 4 moving parts or moving obstacles. Push it down. Okay, so that should be it. Alright, so now we have made the tunnel, and next we are going to make the other obstacles. So that's all for today. So in the next tutorial, we'll be learning how to code the obstacles for lasers, the conveyor belt, and the sliding platforms. And also, we'll be learning on how to make different types of obstacles, which we can use for your Obby game. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to check out the next video of this project, and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. Bye-bye.